Alrighty, y'all. So obviously, Bready came out yesterday, and I think a lot of people are actually happy about the character, even after the nerf slash buff. I think people are saying it's balanced. I think some people are saying it's a massive nerf. I've seen some people saying it's either balanced or a massive nerf, right? But basically, yesterday in our showcase, we tried out the new Bready with the two people that people would be able to use her with, which is E-Leg for distributed damage buffs for one of her one of the part of her kits, and then some Rosanna, which was for the sustained damage part of her kit, right? But this time we're going in here again with the distributed damage, but with the two best distributed damage buffers, right? Anchor and Mast. These two characters are both crazy. They are the Elysion duo. They do have a lot of things that will help out Bready as well. They have crit rate, attack buffs, distributed damage buff, reload speed buff, which is something that Bready really is going to benefit from so much, the reload speed. And then again, the attack damage buff, the crit damage buff, the crit rate buff, the attack buff, and then even from, of course, Anchor as well, the attack buff, the reload speed buff especially, and again the attack buff, right? So the team we're going in here with is going to be this composition, which is, I don't really want to bring Rappy. I'm actually just going to bring Lit her, just because that's another attack buff. Why not? I mean, I guess I could bring Rappy. I'm just gonna run Litter just because I want to, right? But this is the team, right? We have Helm on the team, which I believe has her favorite item. Nobody's using Helm unless she has her favorite item. I'm gonna keep it honest, yeah. And then we are going in here with Bready. Now the Bready that we're using, shout outs to my boy, Rebuke for the account. We are 5, 10, 7 on Bready, and then 10, 10, 10 with Helm. Full favorite item. Now if you don't know, full favorite item Helm is very, very powerful, right? She's just a powerful ass unit. This favorite item Helm is also core 7. So she is a lot stronger than Bready in terms of just stats. But we're gonna see, is Bready powerful, more powerful than Helm with this composition right here. So let's take a look. First time, y'all. This is my first time using her with Anchor and Mast. I don't have Anchor. I don't have Mast. I don't have a lot of the characters in 2025, right? It's really just Trina, Mast, and Anchor. I have everybody else, but it's just because I haven't been spending money on Nikke at all. And it's like, if I'm just relying on getting them first try, but if I don't, then I don't. If you don't remember what Mast and Anchor do, just quickly to remind you, activates when entering burst stage 1, affects self, she lowers her hit rate. So every burst stage 1, she's going to be lowering her hit rate, right? And then when she does get fully stacked on this hit rate, she will stun herself, right? But then when she is in the drunken status, which is the hit rate decrease, all allies will permanently have a attack buff of 30% of the caster's final attack, not final attack, just caster's attack, and then a crit rate buff, which is very, 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 very good, right? And then obviously in her second skill, when you enter burst 3 in the drunken state, she will give a distributed damage buff, also times by the number of stacks for the drunken stacks, and then the reload speed buff also multiplied by the number of drunken stacks for 10 seconds, right? So basically every burst rotation, this character Bready is gonna be nutty, crazy, right? And then on her burst skill, she actually gives a crit damage buff for 10 seconds of 34%, an attack damage buff of 12.99% for 10 seconds, and then an attack buff if in the drunken status that multiplies by the number of stacks in the drunken status, right? So that's what Mast does. And then when it comes to Anchor, she's kind of just there to help Mast not be stunned, so she basically removes a debuff so Mast cannot get stunned, but then she's also giving distributed damage and then also HP potency, and she is healing, and then she is giving hit rate and then attack buff and reload speed after the full burst ends to all allies, right? And then her burst skill is just healing with the Marciana heal like storage thing, and then giving an attack buff, right? So anyways, we're in here, going in here now. Here we go. Bready. So we're at 7.2 million right now. Bready, we're using her burst skill. Boom, boom, and boom, and boom. Oh my god. Boom. Okay, so 129 million off rip. From 7 million to 129 million is quite crazy, but I'm worried because Helm is at 56 million, right? And again, Helm is way more invested than this Bready, right? She's way more. I didn't even show you guys the thing. Well, this is not an overload gear video for Bready, but That is pretty good, right? And then even after we're not using her burst skill, so let's take a look and see what her numbers are when we're not using her burst skill, but still have all these effects, because technically her effects should still work, right? So we're at 150 million. 150 million to what? Okay, she's still very powerful, as you guys can see, right? Boom. Because it's distributed damage, every normal attack is basically boom. That's quite crazy. 150 million to 209 million no burst skill. And mind you, she's still higher than favorite item Helm. So favorite item Helm is way more invested, way more powerful than Bready. With her full favorite item 10 10 10, and Helm is still doing less than Bready, even when Helm used her burst skill. Now this burst rotation, we're fully stacked with Mast and Anchor, right? It takes 3 burst cycles for them to be fully stacked, so we're fully stacked this time. We're at what, 225 million to what? Let's see. Okay, 225 million to what? What is she hitting? 225 million to, oh my god, 413 million, or 15 million, let's say, right? Remember, when we enter the burst skill as well, Helm is giving us a attack damage buff, right? And not only that, when it comes to our crit rate of our normal attacks, that's also getting buffed. So our crit rate for our normal attacks is getting increased, which this character Bready is using her normal attacks to do damage, and then with Mast, you also have the permanent crit rate because she's in her drunken state. So obviously, this what's the code? The Aegis squad is crazy. Like this Aegis squad comp is crazy. 436 million to what? This is not her burst rotation, but we are fully stacked, right? To 525 million. Yeah, no. She is definitely the strongest water DPS in the game, 100%, because again, the only person who would have been harder hitting than her would be Helm, right? That's the only person I can think that would be a stronger character than her is Helm. And this Helm is 10 times better than this Bready, but because of just how Bready's kit works, yeah, you guys can see that, right? She's nasty. She's nasty. And I really wanted to, like, I'm so curious, what was she doing before they decided to fix her numbers up? Right? Like before they decided to lower her numbers and increase her buffs, what was she doing before? Because I'm assuming it was literally so powerful that they literally just wanted to bring it down. Because you guys realize something, right? If this Bready was hitting harder than Cinderella, I'm not saying even with her kit before she was 100% going to, but if she was hitting harder than Cinderella, everybody would have to summon for her at that point. Because don't let the title of a pilgrim fool you. If the best character in the game is not a pilgrim, why wouldn't you go for it? Right? If the strongest DPS in the game is not a pilgrim, why wouldn't you go for it? Just because a pilgrim is on the way? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Right? It doesn't matter if they're a pilgrim or not. If they're the best character in the game, you go for the best character in the game. I'm sorry, that's just how it is, right? Like Mana is a good character in this game. Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. Favorite item Helm is very close to Bready, but it's like the investments between these two are it's just night and day. And then it's like, yeah, she's close to Bready when we use her burst skill, but by the end of it, she's just blitzing her. Like, don't get me wrong, Bready's nasty. Bready, hey, I think this might be the comp. I do want to see though, does Rebuke have Rosanna, right? Because favorite item Helm and Rosanna, and then probably put Crown on there as well. I do want to see, right? I want to see this exact Bready with Rosanna to see what's stronger. Because I've done the E-Leg test. Rosanna, we got better results with Rosanna than we did with E-Leg when it came to this character, right? But now, will we get better results with Rosanna versus these two, which is Mast and Anchor, right? I don't know, but we're going to find out in today's video, right? Okay, we only got a few more seconds. We have one more burst cycle, and that's going to go to Bready, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, we have one more burst cycle. It's not going to be a full burst cycle, but we have one more burst cycle, and it will go to Bready, right? That's just what it looks like. Actually, no, I don't think so. So this is going to be even amount of bursts, right? Perfect. That's an even amount of bursts. So Helm and Bready had the exact same amount of burst skills going off, right? Let's take a look. 1.8 billion. 1.810 billion damage, and then 1.63 billion from Helm. And again, let me show you guys the difference between these two. right? For anybody thinking, oh, okay, well, Helm is not that good. This is a core 7 Helm to no dupes Bready. This is a free to play Bready, right? 5, 10, 7, not even 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10 on Helm, full leveled up overload gear, right? Maybe the subs rolls are not the best. And the cube. And then we had the charge speed cube here, right? Excuse me, I just sneezed in my video. That's shameful, right? But 5, 10, 7, and then 0, 0, 0, 0. Bready versus Helm, core 7, by the way. Like, you can really try your best, but you can't make that up. I'm sorry, you just can't. So let me pause it, and we're gonna see if Rosanna, or I'm not gonna even pause it. Let me see if I can just slap Rosanna on the team. Does he have Rosanna? Please have Rosanna. Perfect. Very good. And I'm actually gonna put Crown on the team as well. Right? I'm gonna put Crown on the team because remember, Crown gives a crazy buff to anybody who uses their burst skill, which is a reload speed buff and an attack buff. Right? We're not actually, and then we will get this attack damage buff here and there, but realistically, we're just gonna see what this is looking like. So let's go in there with my boy Rebuke's account, another 3-minute run, and let's see who's in. So we have to get past 1.810, right? 1.810 billion. If with Rosanna and Crown is lower than 1. I think it's not going to be fair. People are going to be like, it's not fair because you're using Crown as well. But it's like, who else are we supposed to use? That's 2 burst 2, so why not just replace it with 2 burst 2s? I mean, that's not the logic, but I mean, hey, 2.2 billion, 2.2 million to what? To what? $2.2 million to 287 million? That's way better. Okay, Mast and Anchor takes 3 burst skills to build up, right? But that's crazy. That went from 2.2 million to 287 million with sustained damage buffs. And obviously Crown as well. Bro, what are we talking about right now? Bready is nasty. Like, and this is like a water DPS that you're probably gonna want to have for anomaly interception. Why wouldn't you want the strongest water DPS, right? And she's still obviously gonna be hitting harder than Helm. But let's take a look at this real quick. Oh no, okay, we didn't get her burst. We didn't get. It's fine. It's fine. This is. We still have it though. Remember, wait, it lasts for 50 seconds, right? This effect lasts for 50 seconds, right? Lingering taste. As long as you're in lingering taste, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as you're in lingering taste, even if we didn't get Rosanna's burst skill off, it's fine because we were still in lingering taste. It's 50 seconds, and then when we use it now, it reapplied. So if we go back to Bready here, you're gonna see it's gonna start from 50 again because it reapplied. So we have to use it once, and then we just have to use her burst skill again within 50 seconds, and then boom. So either way, with Crown and Rosanna, this is a good comp because you're using Crown or you're using Rosanna. Mind you, actually, I forgot. Helm heals up Crown, so this is probably way stronger. Okay, like, let's see something. This is probably gonna be way better than Mast and Anchor. It probably will be better than Mast and Anchor because this is just crazy. You have your 2 water DPSs, you have your supports. Obviously, Helm is helping out the entire team. Bready is God. I think this is gonna be better. I do think Rosanna and Crown with Helm and Bready is going to be better than Mast and Anchor, right? It's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious, bro. Favorite item, Helm and Bready. This is a nasty team. Everybody's buffing here. Like, literally, everybody is buffing this character up. When you enter a full burst, Helm is buffing her up. Crown is buffing her up. Rosanna's buffing her up. And giving damage taken increase to the boss. Litter's buffing her up. Look how many buffs she has during her burst skill. 64% attack buff. 27% attack damage buff. 54 attack buff. Increased damage by 302%. Increase attack damage by 51%. Sustained damage increased by 20%. Attack damage increased by 20%. Alright, and then we had Litter's buff as well, but Litter's only lasts for 5 seconds, so it's like, I could put Rappy on the team and probably get more of an attack damage buff as well, for 10 seconds rather than 5 seconds. So it's like, I don't know, y'all. I think this character, Bready, is nasty. I do. Is she better than Cinderella? Obviously not. Is she one of the strongest characters in the game? Probably. I would say so. I'd say she's one of the strongest characters in the game. Is Bready a top 10 character though? I do really like Bready's game style though. I really like how they did that because it's like, yeah, her best partner is probably gonna be like, this is probably the best I've seen. This is gonna be the best I've seen of Bready, right? I've tested her with E-Leg, I've tested her with Rosanna, I've tested her with Rosanna without crown, I've tested her with Rosanna and crown, I've tested her now with Mast and Anchor, and from what I'm seeing, her best result is probably just gonna be this composition. It's just gonna be this best, like, it's just not, oh my god. It's probably just this composition, right? This is the best you're gonna see from her. We're at 1.5 billion with 30 seconds more to go, and we're using her burst skill. 1.5 billion. Oh my god, she's going up by like, she's too good. She's way too good. But the only thing is you cannot have a distributed damage buffer and sustain buffer. Like, you can't get both of them. If you could, then she would be broken. If I could just put these two characters on one team, then she would be broken. But because you can't, it's like, it's already passed. So like, her best performance is easily going to be with this composition. I mean, this was her best performance, I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. Her best performance is this, right? I'm sorry, but it is. And she got her burst skill off again, but it doesn't matter, because it does matter, but it doesn't. Holy shit. So 1.810 billion with Mast and Anchor to 1.94 billion with Bready. Obviously, Helm ended up hitting harder than Bready this time, and that's more because of Crown as well, but it was by only, what, 200 million? But then again, Helm has Crown's buff, right? Mast and Anchor was really buffing up Bready most of the time. This time, Helm is getting buffed as well. But even still, Helm is way more invested than this Bready, and Bready still have the buffs from everybody on this team. So I would probably say it's better to use her with Rosanna and Crown, right? That's my result. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a G with y'all. I'm gonna keep it the best. I've tried her out with distributed. I've seen it all now. I'm going to say her best is with Rosanna and Crown and Helm. Like, this composition exactly is what I would say run, right, for Bready. You can work around this. You can use other teams, of course, but this is the team that I am most comfortable with. Is that 1 million power? Oh, my guy's a whale. Oh, I didn't even notice. He's a whale. Oh, shit. Oh, cool. Calm. But hey, you guys let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous. Let me know what you think about Bready. Let me know what you think about Mast and Anchor. Shouts to Rebuke for letting me use his account to showcase Mast and Anchor with Bready. It's your boy Zxous. I'm out. Peace.